Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Meet the Candidate. Today we have Mr. Eric Maddox. Eric is a candidate for the County Commission in District 1. Eric, it's good to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what has motivated you to run for County Commission.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, David. A little bit about me. I've been married for 27 years to my wife, Jennifer. We live on a small farm in Bell Buckle. We've been there for the past 7 years. It'll actually be 7 years this July. We have 3 boys, all under the age of 17. So they're definitely a blessing. We attend Victory Baptist Church. Amazing group of people there as well. A little bit more about me professionally. I've had the opportunity to manage people for the last 27 years of my career. I like to use the word support instead of manage, but I've had the privilege to work with some very successful teams for 3 large corporations. That's been wonderful for us, something I've really enjoyed. As far as more about me and what we do in regards to the farm, we do a lot of farm work. We enjoy music. We have some animals, some goats, a couple of German shepherds keep us busy, and one of the coolest things about being where we are in Bedford County is just the rural lifestyle.
Yeah.
We've really enjoyed it a lot. Every morning my boys get up before school and they actually have chores that they have to do.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's something that's been amazing for us. I actually grew up in a rural setting, and so did my wife, and we decided we decided it was time to get back to that after we lived in Davidson County for a little while, and we decided to make the change, and Bedford County's home.
Okay, so what has motivated you to run for office in District 1 for County Commission?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I'm not a politician at all. And I was tapped on the shoulder a few times by some folks to possibly look at running. And I listened. I was flattered to be considered. But again, not being a politician, it was something I really had to think about and pray about.
Right.
And as you see the country, it's kind of no secret. Our country was founded on certain principles.
Right.
And it's been sad to kind of see those principles become more eroded.
Right.
And I think that, if I can't do anything to help the situations elsewhere, Washington or what have you, that maybe I can make a difference here locally. And that really kind of tugged at my heart, and it made me want to consider possibly getting involved in local government. Another thing that I think about is, government should really be ran like a business.
Sure.
And I think too many times that it's just not the case. But I think every successful business is made successful by good decisions, usually by a team of people.
Right.
And that's what kind of influenced my decision to get involved. Was I just want to make a difference. I want to be a voice for people in the community in which I live, to make sure that we have a wonderful place to continue to call home.
Right. Well, what would you consider our greatest challenge here in Bedford County for the future?
I think our greatest challenge as of right now is the growth. Matter of fact, I brought something with me that may possibly you may find interesting. But this is actually a report that I pulled from Tennessee.gov. So if you do some digging, you can find these numbers for yourself and take a look at them. But if you look at this growth from I know the folks watching this video won't be able to see this, but they can look it up and maybe follow along here. But from 2021 to 2023, or from 2021 to 2023, it's estimated that about 108,000 people will move into Tennessee. Now, if you look at Bedford County, the population in Bedford County in 2021 was 50,849. But more so, what I thought was interesting is that we have 95 counties in Tennessee.
Right.
And, if that growth is going to come into the state, it's going to have to land somewhere. And, it's no secret Bedford County is a beautiful place. It's a desirable place to live. It's why my family and I chose to live here. But if you look at the numbers, the projected increase out of 95 states, we are ranked number 7 in growth. And this competes with other counties that I've highlighted. You've got Williamson County, Wilson County, Maury County is even listed. Sevier County, they're growing. Rutherford County, we know that they've been growing for a while. But if you look at these numbers, the growth is going to be, I think, our biggest opportunity. And the growth's coming. We just have to be able to maintain it and manage it. As the growth begins to increase, I think that we have to make sure that we meet that growth and bring those folks in. We need to make sure that our services, EMS, police, school system, everything needs to be able to support it. Our infrastructure, our roads. There's some opportunity, across the board, but it's going to happen. And I think that we can support all of this growth without any tax increases. I think we just need to take an honest look at the P&L. I've managed P&Ls all my life, and I know how to look at a budget and make decisions on what makes sense in regards to spending. But I think helping manage that growth and be able to maintain the quality that Bedford County has. Another thing for me, quite frankly, is we do live on a farm in Bell Buckle, and it's important for me to make sure that we keep that rural setting out there.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things that I strongly believe in. There's a lot of farmers out there, a lot of agricultural industry out there, and that's something that we need to protect. But Bedford County is already sort of it's set up in a way that we can bring that growth in and still protect those areas from growing. And I think you just have to have a plan.
Right. What would be your goal as commissioner if you are elected? What would you set out to do as a commissioner?
I think the number one thing that we need is we need somebody that's going to be the voice of reason, the person that's kind of going to bring common sense to the table and demand transparency. I think it's fair that the constituency demand the transparency that they deserve, and I don't think that's something that's too big to ask. And I think as a commissioner should make sure that they are asking for that same transparency from those that they work with on the commission.
Sure.
No matter at what level, once a plan hits the table, there needs to be a discussion. It can't just be a situation where this person agrees, so this person agrees, so it must be okay. We need to ask the questions and make sure that we're spending our money wisely. Taxpayers trust the government to spend that money in a way that benefits the taxpayer, and I think that money should be spent in a way that benefits the larger group and not just maybe a select few.
Yeah. Do you think that when you go into a full commission meeting that 15 minutes is ample enough time to conduct business for a monthly meeting? I know I've seen some of these meetings that just fly by.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, I don't think so at all. I've like I said earlier, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to work with a lot of folks, and in any project there's a process. It may be a whiteboarding process, it may be a storyboarding process, it may be gathering data. I think all of those things take time. And David, to answer your question point blank, I don't think that a decision can be made quickly. I think that decisions need to be talked about in a group setting, and we need reasoning. We need everybody at the table to make those decisions. At the end of the day, let's just be honest. Those decisions affect our county,
right? And
it's not fair to the entire county for decisions to be made that may only have a positive benefit to a select few.
Right. So what do you think you can do specifically to help Bedford County and your district?
Yep. Well, first of all, we need to solicit what the folks in the district want.
Right.
Right. And it's funny you asked that question. I was talking to another dear friend of mine, and I kind of mentioned it kind of like this. There's two boxes that you need to check in any decision. Is the decision right? Is it a right decision? Is it something that is morally right, ethically right? Is it something that's going to benefit, the greater good? And then the second box is does the greater good approve?
Right.
So if you cover those bases and make sure that you enlist the opinions and the thoughts of those in the community, I think you've got that base, sort of covered. And then again, working with the commission to make sure that, it is a collaboration. And in order to make decisions on the commission, you have to have the buy-in of everybody involved.
Right.
So there's probably a lot of back and forth, and there may be commissioners that may agree or disagree with you, but you really have to talk through what's best for the entire community.
Right. Okay, so changing gears just a little
Sure.
bit. What is your favorite thing about Bedford County?
My favorite thing about Bedford County, I'll answer the question, but I'll give you kind of an example. When you drive around to other areas, you can kind of look around and kind of get an idea of what the people are like in that area. And it's no secret when you drive around Bedford County, you see the hard work of the people. The people. That's my answer.
People.
It's people, but the people of Bedford County, they're hard working. I think that they're good people, and as I meet more of them, it makes me even prouder to be here in Bedford County.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing better than going to Bell Buckle Cafe and seeing all the smiles and grabbing something to eat, or maybe after a ball game, going over and visiting the fine folks at Sir Pizza and grabbing some pizza.
Right.
But everywhere you go, there's people that make Bedford County who they are. And David, I honestly will say that it's the people. It's a beautiful country.
Right.
I love where we live over in Bell Buckle. It's beautiful, but it's the hard-working people that help make Bedford County what it is.
Absolutely. Okay. On the flip side, what is one thing about Bedford County that you would change?
One thing, actually, can I give you maybe a couple?
As many as you'd like.
All right. So Bedford County is a wonderful county. We've talked about that, but there are some opportunities here. One of those opportunities, I think, is how we cater to our youth.
Okay.
There are a bunch of churches that are spread throughout Bedford County, and I know that there are youth groups, and the rec center even does a lot of things for the community. I know that recently, even at the ball field, that they just replaced the lights at the ball field. But David, I think if you look at the broader picture, the youth really are the future of our county.
Absolutely.
So I think we need to do everything that we can to protect them, to offer, and to also be able to offer them a future here. Possibly look at bringing in places that could possibly employ those folks.
Right.
More manufacturing jobs. We have to make sure that we take care of our schools to be sure that they're going to take care of the youth. They're going to be the future of our county. I was looking at some numbers. Again, David, I'll show you a couple of things. But this is the population estimate for 2026, and we're looking at ages 0 to 17. And by 2026, the population of Tennessee is estimated to be at about 7.2 million. But from 2022 to 2026, it's estimated that population will grow by 205,000.
That category.
Right. Well, for Bedford County, for 2022, you're looking at 12,000 youth in that age group. Now, that's expected to grow in 2026 to 13,207. Now, what I found that was interesting was, if you look at that, again, there's 95 counties. we're again ranked 7th in that growth.
And
So-
that's the same ranking
That's
that
right.
we had in the overall growth.
That's
So-
right. So if you look at it from the growth of the youth up to age 17, we're going to be ranked 7th. So we're projected to increase 4.4%. So again, out of 95 counties, we're ranked 7th in that growth. That tells me that we need to do a good job of taking
Yeah.
care of our youth. And again, I know that we do. You know, I've coached baseball. I know there's a lot of folks that dedicate their time. I was talking to the president of the league, matter of fact, last night, and he mentioned that this year there's 600 kids that have signed up for baseball and softball this year for Bedford County, and that's a new record, and it's increased every single year.
Yeah.
But my thought process was, you know, we need to make sure that we're taking care of those kids. And another thing, you know, possibly is we need to create more things for them to do. You know, that's productive
Yeah.
in the city. You know, more and more I hear about, you know, the kids traveling outside of the county to go do things that you know, they want to do, whatever that is. But we need more productive things for our youth to do. That's one thing. You know, a couple other things that I'd like to see is, you know, as we do grow and as we move into more of the technology age, I think it's important for us to have an internet solution across the county. And I know that's something that they've worked on in the past, or they may possibly be working on now.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess one of the things that really, and this may be my third thing, and I may pause, but one of the things that really I'm starting to uncover is that there's opportunity that we're dealing with that we really shouldn't have to deal with. And what I mean by that is, I think that there are absolutes that we ought to have. Everybody ought to have good drinking water.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that we've had some opportunities. You know, just this week I was reading in the paper. It says, you know, Union Ridge gets water lines, but there's a comma there, and it says finally. So obviously that creates some confusion and makes you question things. But it says after 30 years of asking this for city water, 40 residents in Union Ridge and Wartrace have access. Will have access. And I guess when you look at that, it really makes me question, why did it take so long?
Yeah.
You know, I think that Bedford County has enough money. That's what I think. I think that we ought to obviously, you know, do some more checking into the P&L, but I think Bedford County should have enough money to take care of its people.
Yeah.
And that's something that really concerned me. But if I could change anything, it's just it may be those things. But David, I think too, I think it's important for the people of Bedford County to be able to trust the people that supposed to lead them.
Right.
And I think that's something that we may need a little help with. And if I could possibly be a voice for some folks that they can look at and trust,
Yeah.
that's my goal.
All right.
You know, so hopefully that's answered your questions, but I'll entertain any more that you have.
Well, I think you've covered everything quite nicely and have wrapped this up very, very well. And I appreciate you sitting down and just telling the folks who you are and some of your thoughts about Bedford County. And we look forward to how things play out.
Sure.
And if everything works out right, I think we might see you sitting on that commission.
Well, I appreciate it. I just want to help. Just want to help. So.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to listen to Mr. Eric here. And I know he'll appreciate your vote on May the 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you.